Section 38 of English Synonyms and Antonyms. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. English Synonyms and Antonyms by James Champlin Fernald. Journey, to kill. Journey. Synonyms: excursion, expedition, pilgrimage, tour, transit, travel, trip, voyage. A journey (French journée, from Latin diurnus, daily) was primarily a day's work. Hence, a movement from place to place within one day, which we now describe as a day's journey. In its extended modern use, a journey is a direct going from a starting point to a destination, ordinarily over a considerable distance. We speak of a day's journey, or the journey of life. Travel is a passing from place to place, not necessarily in a direct line or with fixed destination. A journey through Europe would be a passage to some destination beyond or at the farther boundary. Travel in Europe may be in no direct course, but may include many journeys in different directions. A voyage, which was formerly a journey of any kind, is now a going to a considerable distance by water, especially by sea, as a voyage to India. A trip is a short and direct journey. A tour is a journey that returns to the starting point, generally over a considerable distance, as a bridal tour or business tour. An excursion is a brief tour or journey, taken for pleasure, often by many persons at once, as an excursion to Chautauqua. Passage is a general word for a journey by any conveyance, especially by water, as a rough passage across the Atlantic. Transit, literally the act of passing over or through, is used specifically of the conveyance of passengers or merchandise. Rapid transit is demanded for suburban residents or perishable goods. Pilgrimage, once always of a sacred character, retains in derived uses something of that sense, as a pilgrimage to Stratford-on-Avon. Prepositions: a journey from Naples to Rome, through Mexico, across the continent, over the sea. A journey into Asia, among savages, by land, by rail, for health, on foot, on the cars, etc. Judge. Synonyms: arbiter, arbitrator, justice, referee, umpire. A judge, in the legal sense, is a judicial officer appointed or elected to preside in courts of law, and to decide legal questions duly brought before him. The name is sometimes given to other legally constituted officers, as the judges of election. In other relations, any person duly appointed to pass upon the merits of contestants or of competing articles may be called a judge, as the judges at an agricultural fair. Or at a race track, in the widest sense, any person who has good capacity for judging is called a judge, as a person is said to be a judge of pictures, or a good judge of a horse, etc. In most games the judge is called an umpire, as the umpire of a game of ball or cricket. A referee is appointed by a court to decide disputed matters between litigants. An arbitrator is chosen by the contending parties to decide matters in dispute without action by a court. In certain cases an umpire is appointed by a court to decide where arbitrators disagree. Arbiter, with its suggestion of final and absolute decision, has come to be used only in a high or sacred sense, as war must now be the arbiter, the supreme arbiter of our destinies. The judges of certain courts, as the United States Supreme Court, are technically known as justices. Justice. Synonyms: equity, fairness, fair play, faithfulness, honor, impartiality, integrity, justness, law, lawfulness, legality, rectitude, right, righteousness, rightfulness, truth, uprightness, virtue. In its governmental relations, human or divine, justice is the giving to every person exactly what he deserves, not necessarily involving any consideration of what any other may deserve. Equity, the quality of being equal, is giving everyone as much advantage, privilege, or consideration as is given to any other. It is that which is equally right or just to all concerned. Equity is equal justice, and is thus a close synonym for fairness and impartiality, but it has a philosophical and legal precision that those words have not. In legal proceedings, cases arise for which the law has not adequately provided, or in which general provisions, just in the main, would work individual hardship. The system of equity, devised to supply the insufficiencies of law, deals with cases to which the law by reason of its universality cannot apply. Equity, then, is the soul and spirit of all law. Positive law is construed and rational law is made by it. Blackstone, Book Third, Chapter 27, page 429. In personal and social relations, justice is the rendering to every one what is due or merited, whether in act, word, or thought. In matters of reasoning or literary work of any kind, justice is close, faithful, unprejudiced, and unbiased adherence to essential truth or fact. We speak of the justice of a statement, or of doing justice to a subject. Integrity, rectitude, right, righteousness, and virtue denote conformity of personal conduct to the moral law, and thus necessarily include justice, which is giving others that which is their due. Lawfulness is an ambiguous word, meaning in its narrower sense mere legality, which may be very far from justice, but in its higher sense signifying accordance with the supreme law of right, and thus including perfect justice. Justness refers rather to logical relations than to practical matters. As we speak of the justness of a statement or of a criticism. See judge, noun. Antonyms: dishonesty, favoritism, iniquity, injustice, partiality, unfairness, unlawfulness, unreasonableness, untruth, wrong. Prepositions: the justice of the king, to or for the oppressed. Keep. Synonyms: carry, carry on, celebrate, conduct, defend, detain, fulfill, guard, hold, maintain, obey, observe, preserve, protect, refrain, restrain, retain, support, sustain, withhold. Keep, signifying generally to have and retain in possession, is the terse, strong Saxon term for many acts which are more exactly discriminated by other words. We keep, observe, or celebrate a festival. We keep or hold a prisoner in custody. We keep or preserve silence. Keep the peace. Preserve order.